Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we're going to be talking about heat and getting hot. It's the summertime. The dog days of summer are upon us, and Coach Vic, she loves, absolutely L-O-V-E-S is the heat.
I love the heat, except when it gets too hot. I do enjoy the summer months and the heat, but I was just telling Coach Bob, he brought these jackets out here, and I was already getting overwhelmed by looking at the jackets, because I remember how hot I was in Texas and going up
Key West to Maine.
Maine when it was hot. Whew, I don't want to experience that again.
All right, so what we're going to do, we got some comments this past week on the Florida heat and how we ride in the heat, how we sustain the heat. What is it like being on the back versus the front? So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So get your cup of coffee and let's do this. So why are you stressing out?
Look, I have the new jacket on. What jacket is this, Coach Bob?
BohnArmor.
BohnArmor.
So you feeling bulky?
I think I like the BohnArmor in the heat. Although Coach Bob thinks it's too big on me, but if it gets these smaller, be tight on my arms. I kind of like the back because it's got a what do you call it?
Back pad.
Back pad. So for me, it feels good because it's keeping my back straight up.
Oh, there you go.
It is kind of hot. Get me out of this thing. I could wear this on a hot day. Okay, you'd have to take this off of me, please.
It's summer.
I can't get it off. But that does feel pretty good.
It's like dressing a Barbie doll.
Whoever wants to, that's pretty good. Whoever wants to buy that, whoever wants to try that jacket, that would be good.
Why are you squinting?
In the heat. I need my sunglasses.
Yeah.
Watch where my sunglasses are.
Well, let's see where they are.
No more look. Now I'm covered up. There you go. Ooh, Shady Ray.
All right, so it is an actual summer afternoon, so we're out here sweating because I wanted to get that vibe going in Coach Vic's head. You know, you can talk about being hot, you can even remember being hot, but it's not until you experience a little sweat on the brow that you understand what it really is like. So it's in the mid 90s here, 100% humidity, just right for sweating. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. The sun's right there.
Yeah.
Shining on down right at us.
Nice. First things first, you know, we got the question about what is it like riding as a pillion versus the driver. Now, Coach Vic and I, we've done a lot of riding in hot weather, and we've crossed the country twice and done all kinds of cool things. But one thing that's not cool is when you're in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and the ambient air temperature is 100 degrees and you're sitting at a red light, and I'm looking at the temperature, the external temperature that is on the Spyder, and it says 135 degrees, and you're going, oh, there's my neighbor. And you're sweating your butt off, and Coach Vic's laughing at me because I'm dying. I'm like, I'm gonna die up here.
I am not
so
laughing.
hot.
I actually feel bad for you.
And when you're sitting still, it's hot, and there's no way to really mitigate that. You know, you're just gonna be hot. You're sitting over an engine.
Sitting over an engine.
Describe to me now, based on how you see me react to the heat versus how you feel, what do you think the difference, and is there much difference between being as a pillion versus being head honcho?
The head honcho.
The big cheese.
Well, I do hear you say how hot it is. I do sympathize for you, how hot it is. Now, can I feel the heat from the engine? Every now and then I do feel the heat from the engine. I'm not feeling it to the extent you are because I'm being blocked by you.
Right.
But I do feel it, you know, rise up. I do feel some of it. So he must be really suffocating with it that hot. I'm not as bad though when it comes to feeling the engine heat.
Well, I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna turn my camera on. Now this is for people that don't have Spyders, and you know, and people that do have Spyders. But the people that don't have Spyders, sometimes we have to paint a picture. So let's paint a little picture here. So the engine sits right here, and here's a vent here and a vent here, and I sit right there. So knowing that, you can just understand the fact that it's gonna get hot up here.
Right.
Coach Vic has me here, and she's back here, so it's a lot better back there, I will tell you.
My feet and legs are here, but your legs are blocking me. But the heat does come up sometimes. I understand what he's talking about when he talks about how hot it is at a stoplight.
So the question is it more hot on the front than the back?
Yes.
Yes. Is it a noticeable difference? I would say yes, it is a noticeable difference. Is it bearable? I'd say it's bearable in either place. I will say this, that the more weight I put on, the less bearable it is.
Yes.
You know, that I used to kid around with Coach Vic. Whenever I put on 10 pounds, I'm like, I'm wearing a fat coat. you know, because I've got that layer of fat around me that's an insulate, and it makes me hotter. It's just the way it is. Obviously, the more lean you are, the more cool you can be and that sort of thing. So heat is it's kind of on a scale of what you're used to, what you're acclimated to. We both grew up in the South. I grew up in South Georgia. She grew up in South Florida. So we're used to the heat.
I'm used to the heat, yeah.
Like right now we got a breeze coming through, and although it's in the mid-90s, it feels pretty nice.
Right.
Wow, the wind never blows like this. Look at this.
No, it's nice.
This is feeling pretty good. May have to get a cup of coffee. I'm getting a chill.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not right now. I usually am the cold one when it comes to the wind.
That answers the question about the pillion versus the rider. I've gotten a lot of emails and comments where people go, I don't see how you're wearing a jacket when it's that hot. I feel like I'm gonna blow up and spontaneously combust. So let's talk a little bit about the whole jacket thing. All right, Coach Vic, there you go.
That weight threw me backwards. This is a lot, this overwhelms me.
All right.
This is overwhelming.
So
makes me think about,
we grabbed a few jackets, as you can tell. We have a few jackets, as you can tell. We're gonna take this from the stance of you're in West Texas and it's 109 degrees ambient air temperature and it's dry, hot air. It feels like a big giant blow dryer going, whoo,
it was tough, yeah.
It was awful, it was hard. This is what Coach Vic wore.
Oh, that's what I had on.
Now
it has a liner, but I had it without the liner.
And we have the liner pulled out of it now. So you can see the light through the jacket, you know. So I can see through this. Even with this though, it's hot. It's just hot.
Now, with that said, I had this on, then we stopped. I said, I need to take off this jacket because it was so hot. Took off the jacket and had on a short sleeve. That was way worse than the jacket. You had to have something on your arms because the sunbeam on your arms was terrible.
Heated your body up more than just the sun over the jacket.
Right, and back then I didn't have a thinner jacket, so I had to wear this. But then as we rode through the week, I went against the rules and put on a flannel shirt.
Just to cover your skin.
To cover my arms. So I did ride with a flannel shirt because after I could not tolerate this in the heat.
You just couldn't do it anymore. Now me, all the way out, this is what I wore. Now I have the liner in here right now, but
yeah, that's the one you want.
This is a Joe Rocket jacket. It's the Joe Rocket Phoenix Ion jacket. This jacket is the Swiss Army knife of jackets. Has a liner in here for heat, has a liner in here for rain, and you pull those out and it's just a mesh jacket. This thing did a superlative job. Even, and I know what you're saying, but it's black, Coach. Weren't you dying with the black jacket on? And can't you not, you won't be seen. All of this is reflectivity. There's reflectivity in the shoulders and the back. The jacket's highly visible at night, and it did its job. So I would say that this jacket, it will serve your needs in hot weather. Are you gonna be hot? You are.
No matter what you have on, you're gonna be hot.
Right, you could be naked, be hot. All right, in fact, you'd be hotter.
Summered.
Yeah. So let's get rid of the Joe Rocket and show you what we did on the way back. So while we're out in California, Coach Vic is saying, Bob, I'm hot. I want a cool jacket. So she bought this.
But I will tell you, it was still hot. I had to wear my flannel a lot. This was still hot to me.
But was this jacket cooler than the other?
But it was cooler than the other one, the white one that I had. It was cooler.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I ride without a jacket all the time. I ride with a jacket most of the time, but
I would say on that trip you were 90% at least, maybe 95%
with
you had
the
the jacket.
Excruciating. I had my flannel shirt
West
on.
Texas and Lake Havasu are the only two places you rode without a jacket. Okay, now on the way back, I purchased a jacket. Now this jacket is absolutely filthy. This is an AlpineStars Jacket. This is a very nice jacket. I like this jacket a lot. This is probably the most comfortable jacket that I have. It is not the coolest jacket that I have. Has good airflow in the back.
It's got lots of padding.
But in the front, you've got a couple of layers, and so you don't get as good of airflow as you do in the Joe Rocket. Would I recommend this for a summer jacket? I would not. It's a good looking jacket, and I rode all the way back wearing this jacket every day. So it was above 100 degrees at times and below 40 at times. And I wore this jacket every day and it didn't bother me. But if you were to ask me, is this a good summer jacket for the average Joe? I'd say no, it's not. And Coach Vic would suffocate in this jacket.
Yes.
So now I'm going to show you the coolest jacket that I have. This is the Dainese Sevilla jacket. This jacket, you can see my hand. That jacket is super thin. It's a textile jacket. It's beautiful in color. The armor is super lightweight, but is D2 rated. It's crazy how this jacket is and what it says it will do. Now, I've never slid down the pavement wearing this, but I have no reason to believe that it would not do its job. But this particular jacket, it's expensive for what it is. But this jacket here, I'm gonna tell you, if you can just get, if you want just a summer riding jacket, Coach Vic would love this jacket. If she had this in her size, she would absolutely love this jacket. Feel how lightweight that is. Just pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to even your summer jacket, it weighs half what her jacket wears. That jacket, it's the boss.
It's the boss.
Next up would be CanAm mesh jacket that I did a review on here recently. This jacket has, I won't say equal airflow to the Dainese, but very, very close. This jacket is extremely comfortable, extremely cool. There's an extra lining right here that is what it does is it makes this jacket more abrasion resistance. But anything you add, the ladybug, you gotta fly away. Anything you add takes away from airflow. So this jacket is not quite as cool as the Dainese, but it would provide you more abrasion resistance than that. CanAm mesh jacket is one of the top dogs. And then the very last thing, and this is considered a mesh shirt. This is the BohnArmor that Coach Vic was wearing. And I'll have links to all of the videos. I've reviewed all of this gear. I have links to them all below down in the description. So if any of these jackets float your boat, go to that video and I do a detailed description of every single one of them. This right here though is a shirt. It is super thin. You can see my hand through it.
I can probably tolerate this one pretty comfortable in the heat.
The armor is a little bit heavy. So if you're gonna develop any heat, it's gonna be in the armor, in the arm and the shoulder.
But it felt pretty comfortable.
It is, it's very comfortable. The cool thing about this is when you're riding down the road, when the wind is blowing, you feel it.
Can you wet this?
You can wet it.
So when it's hot, you can have this pad wet on your back?
You could pour water, you could deck this whole thing in water.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Which leads us to the next thing, and that is a cooling vest. I had a guy up at the motorcycle shop let me ride in his one day. They work, they do work. For me, I don't like the extra layer. It's not so much about the coolness, it's about that bulk feel.
Yeah.
That feeling that you're closed in. And the more layers you put on, the more you deal with that feeling.
Right.
And so having that extra vest there, you have to make a decision on that. Right. But there has to be airflow because what cools that vest, it's not like it's air conditioned. You wet it, put it in the fridge or whatever, you get it cold, you put it on, and the wind, as the wind goes through it, it's drying it and cooling it off. It's like evaporating that cool water and cooling that water off on you, which means that the more humid the environment is, the less effective it's going to be. So if you're in a drier climate, it's going to be a lot more effective. I guess after we've gone through a lot of jackets, you saw the number of jackets we brought up here. Is there a silver bullet to the heat, Coach Vic?
You're going to be hot. You're going to be hot. It gets hot. So it depends on what you can tolerate. You can ride for an hour and take a break, but I know the heat left a little bit of overwhelming in my brain. But you know, I still go ride, but I want to try that one, the last one.
The BohnArmor.
I want to try that next time we go for a ride in the heat. I want to try that because I think I'll like that one.
There really isn't, you know, when people talk about how do you guys stand it, how do you wear your jacket,
We just tolerate it.
We look at the Spyder forums and you'll hear people talk about, hey, I ride in Florida, I ride in Texas, and I'm cooking and I want to take my jacket off, or I did take my jacket off because it's too hot to ride. My answer to you is, you put your skin in the game. You know, I'm not one of these guys, I'll just put it this way, I ain't your mama. So if you want to ride around in a wife beater and a pair of flip-flops,
There you go.
You go right ahead.
And I would wear my flannel. Coach Bob's like, he doesn't get on to me. He's like, you do you. And I'm like, I want to enjoy my ride and just take that
Coach
risk.
Vic is an intelligent, articulate woman. She knows when she puts a flannel on, the risk that she's assuming. She's smart. She understands that. So, you know, you have to make that decision for you.
Now, if I can find a lightweight flannel with padding,
Not
a heavy flannel, a lightweight flannel.
I think that BohnArmor would meet your needs.
Right, I think that will too.
I think that, because you can put that right over your t-shirt.
Yeah, and it was comfortable.
Yep.
The padding didn't feel as too bulky.
So let's talk one more thing about heat. And I'm gonna go grab your two, because I think they're very indicative of something that will help you build up heat versus not build up heat.
Okie doke.
Okay? So while I go get this and spring this on Coach Vic, she's gonna have a little talk with you about her hairdo.
I don't want to do that by myself. I have to do it in front of you.
What? You don't want to do it by
No,
yourself?
I can't. I can't do it by myself. We're gonna cut that. Jeet.
All right, so what we're gonna talk about now is Coach Vic's haircut. So Coach Vic, you know, Coach Vic's hair, can we do it?
No, I'm not taking the hat off.
Come on, you can show
No, look, a little bit of hair. Look. It's not long and blonde right now, but most of y'all know why.
Coach Vic, our daughter's going through cancer treatments, and Coach Vic, to stand in solidarity with our daughter,
She asked me to cut my hair, and
she
I
shaved
did.
her head. Now, y'all have seen that in the video, the llama video.
Yeah, now, I don't regret it. Now, you know, I look in the mirror in the morning, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for my hair to grow back. But I'm reminded of what Allie's going through, so I don't have any complaints. And Allie loves it, because every time she comes over and sees me, we hang out, she likes to rub my head and take my hat off and laugh at me, and we have a chuckle together.
So not having hair, you know, on your head, tell me what that's done to
well,
you.
actually, in the summer it feels great. In the heat it feels great. In the cold, no. I am so cold.
In the air conditioning,
In the
just simple air conditioning.
Or the store. I mean, I don't realize how much heat your hair holds in.
Right, it insulates your
Right,
neck.
I'm like, and then how the hair keeps you warm.
And you know, when you wear a hat, you know, when you don't have hair, when you wear a hat, it's like your head actually stays cool.
Right. So, but the blessing with all this is I've always want to see, because my hair was blonde growing up. Then as I got older, it started doing the gray thing. Now it's to my natural, so I'm curious to see what it looks like as it grows, how the brown's gonna look. Will I keep it short? But anyway, I'm still not used to not having a hat on, and my mom won't look at me without my hat on.
So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up just because of Coach Vic.
Oh yeah, and just because of Allie. Yeah, subscribe. But
All
anyway,
right.
enough of that.
Let's talk helmets. This is your original helmet.
This is my original, and I didn't.
And this is your Neotech.
Right.
Both Shoeies, both quality helmets. Full face versus open face. So I'm going to ask you, you've ridden in both of them.
Right.
And you've ridden in hot, you've ridden in cold, you've ridden in rain, you've ridden in everything in both of these helmets.
Right.
Based on comfort alone, which helmet would you rather wear 365 days a year?
Well, I can't say 365, but this one actually was probably more comfortable. Well, I like this one to begin with because I wasn't all confined. But in the winter, this one is better because I'm covered up and I'm warm. When I wear this in the summer on our long rides in the heat, oh, my head would burn. I'd be so hot.
In the summertime.
I felt cooler wearing this.
And this one weighs a lot
And it
less.
weighs a lot less, but I'm told that, full face is better for you. But I did feel not as hot wearing this one.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this helmet right here, Shoei J Cruise, if you're going to go open face, that right there, I don't think you can do any better than that. And if you're going to go modular, you can't do any better
Right,
than this
I like
either.
the modular in the rain and in the winter time. But yeah, that stuff, oh, it's hot.
So, summer helmet, winter helmet. Is that what you're saying?
I could do that, yeah. Yeah, it works. I mean, this is more fashionable though. Whatever, you gotta have fashion sometimes. Fashion counts,
So, based on how you feel, I would recommend that if you have an opportunity to ride in some different helmets to determine how hot you're going to be or how cold you're going to be, And if you can have a couple of helmets, I think that's the ultimate way to do it. I've got the Arai XD4. I've done a review on that here this past Saturday. The Arai XD4, man, as far as breathability and all that stuff, the helmet's absolutely top notch. It's summertime riding, it's a no-brainer. The helmet is just the best. Winter time, I'd say my Shoei Neotech I like better than the XD4, because the XD4, the airflow is just, it's there. It's gonna allow too much air in your face in the winter. But in the summertime, you ain't gonna beat the XD4 for airflow unless you get an open face. Get an open face, you pop that baby right there. You can take that face shield off, drop the sun visor, you got total airflow.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering why the camera angle just changed, the other camera just overheated. It's hot out here. I think there's your proof. If you were wondering if we were telling you the truth or not, camera got too hot, went beep, beep, beep. Hopefully we didn't lose all of our footage. But if we did, we'll just do it again.
Wow.
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 So Coach Vic.
Yep.
What advice? I have advice for people. Would you like for me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Well, what are you going to ask me first?
What advice would you have for people to help them deal with the heat?
Well, first of all, pick the jacket you like, try on different jackets, and figure out what you like the best. And I know I say this over and over again. I like to be in shape. I have to be in shape. If I'm not in shape, the heat bothers me more. But before you go on a long trip, try to go out and get acclimated to the heat. Maybe be outside a little bit, but I don't know.
That was going to be my advice. Is get outside, get acclimated to the heat, and do your best to get as physically fit as you possibly can.
Right, and if you can't do that, then ride 30 minutes to an hour, take a water stop, ride. Find your ride the way it works best for you.
If you need to stop and cool off, there's no shame in that.
Right. And if you have to douse yourself with water, do it.
But there are no silver bullets.
No.
But hopefully this information is giving you something that you can sink your teeth into and know that the struggle is real and that other people do deal with it. We deal with the heat. We deal with that part of the ride just like everyone else. Mm-hmm. And we've ridden in some mega hot weather, and we'll do it again.
And stop when you need to and take a break, because we needed to that one time in Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do to get through the day. To me, the heat is not a deal breaker, and the heat doesn't bother me any more than the cold or the rain or anything else. One of the fallacies about motorcycle riding is that every day is a postcard, and the temperature is perfect, and it's all beautiful and wonderful.
It's not. But it sure is an adventure, and it sure does make you, when you're done with the trip, you've accomplished something. So that is pretty cool.
It is. It's very cool. And what we've done is special. We've created memories of a lifetime. It's made us closer. It's made us love each other more.
Really?
Are you saying it did?
Coach Bob's getting all sappy. Oh, no, it did. But Coach Bob just throws his stuff out there. I don't know. I'm just messing with him.
Coach Vic's not comfortable with the emotional side of it. She doesn't like talking about that stuff.
No.
Anyway, so there you have it. Jackets, helmets, shirts. Do you have any advice on shirts? What they should or should not wear?
No.
Now, I'm going to tell you, when we went Key West to Maine, we had these real thin fishing type shirts. They're super duper thin, and they were long sleeve. Mm-hmm. I think those things were cooler than a short sleeve shirt for me.
I don't wear short sleeve on the CanAm. It has to be a long sleeve if I'm going to go without my jacket.
Well, I'm talking about even with my jacket on.
Even with a jacket. Yeah, I do long sleeve, yeah.
Because if you have a real thin mesh jacket, you will get sunburned through the mesh. Mm-hmm. And if there's any hole in your sleeve where there's a zipper line or something, you'll have little circles where the sun got to your arm and you'll be burnt to a crisp.
Oh, really?
So that happened to me when we went to Texas. I had little burn marks like right on my wrist where the zipper was unzipped on my sleeve down at the bottom. Huh. So everything that you do, the sun, the heat, wear sunscreen. That's another thing. The one thing that'll make heat worse is being sunburned and be hot.
Yes.
So cover your nose, because when you're riding into the sun, you're doing it for hours at a time. Robert, my son, when we got to California, he goes, "Oh my God, you're dark."
I know, you were.
Man, I looked like a raccoon because I had the little circles around my eyes with my sunglasses. And I was putting sunscreen on every morning. So wear your sunscreen, protect yourself, do what you can to stay as cool as you can, and enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride.
All right. Well, there you have it. Coach Vic, anything that you would like to add, madam?
That's about it.
All right, so do me a favor until next time. You, yes you, go out,
Buy the motorcycle of your dreams.
eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun,
You're doing it wrong.
oh yes you are. Now you go seize the day, and we'll see you on the road real soon.